You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
You're listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network. Happy Monday. It is great to have you listening today. What an awesome week we had on the ticket last week. So proud of the gorgeous ladies of Femme Noir. They came in and took ASN by storm. Listen to Femme Noir. They are killing it. Really expanding, giving us a women's touch as we have so sorely needed. Jeremy Winston is out on tour and he's on the West Coast doing his West Coast tour with his chorale group from Central State University, but he'll be back with some strong episodes of the Rubicon. And we continue. Alan Bozeman will be around throughout the week. We will continue to bring that hard-hitting sports talk, ministry, excellence, politics, everything that the ticket has become. I'm not going to expound, but I did want to mention I took a complete, and everybody else that fell out of bracket, I took a complete bloodbath over the weekend. I had picked Michigan State to win the tournament, and they lost in the first round as a 2 seed to a 15 seed. And not only did they lose, they were actually kind of smacked around. They were borderline blown out. Tom Izzo was dejected after the game, and I was dejected because I'm out about $100 of all of the pools that I filled. I had Michigan State winning the tournament. I also had West Virginia going to the Final Four, who also lost in the first round. So for those that watched the NCAA tournament on Thursday and Friday and over the weekend, just upset city. So many teams that were expected to do well didn't do well. Today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I don't usually talk about baseball, and the reason I don't talk about baseball is because nobody that listens to my show cares about baseball. I like baseball. I played baseball as a young man. Baseball is actually my favorite sport to play. I went to Pine Forge Academy, which did not have a baseball team at the time, so I didn't get to play much high school baseball, but I played a lot of AAU baseball growing up in Columbus, Ohio, and was a pretty good baseball player. Adam LaRoche, who is a utility infielder for the Chicago White Sox, meaning that he plays multiple positions. Adam LaRoche abruptly retired last week. And the reason that he retired is different. You would think, well, did he retire because of injuries? Did he retire because he didn't love the game anymore? Did he retire because he was ready for the next phase in his life? He retired because the Chicago White Sox, their executives, banned his son Drake LaRoche, who's 14 years old, banned his son from the clubhouse. Now, Adam LaRoche, who also played for the Washington Nationals when he was good, I want to add as a caveat, he's a 207 hitter. So basically, he sucks. He's at the end of his career. For those that don't really follow baseball, a good hitter is hitting somewhere around 300, meaning that you get a hit 3 out of every 10 at-bats. A mediocre hitter is hitting somewhere around 250. When you're hitting 207, you're just barely in the major leagues. You're on the verge of getting cut. You're on the verge of getting sent to the minors. Adam LaRoche was a veteran. He actually makes $12 million a year. So if I'm a GM and I have somebody walk away from $12 million a year that's hitting 207, I actually feel like I'm winning. But back to the story at hand. His son comes to the clubhouse with him every single game. Now, in major leagues, there are 162 games. It's the longest season by far. So you have 81 home games. People bring their kids. We've seen Riley Curry at press conferences. We've seen kids in places where people have said kids probably should not be. Adam LaRoche brings his kid to work every single day. He has money. His son is homeschooled, so his school schedule is different. He can go to work with his father every day. The Chicago White Sox actually had a locker for his son because he was always in the clubhouse. He had his own locker. Now, this is why that's probably not a good idea. I am not a father, and I am obviously not a professional athlete, but these are some of the things that are being discussed in Major League clubhouses around the country. You have a lot of young men that are playing what many would perceive to be a boring and slow game. I like baseball, but there's a lot of standing around. There's a lot of waiting for games. You have rain delays. It's just a lot of sitting around at the ballpark. You have guys in the clubhouse. You have guys that are gambling. People that are gambling. You have people talking about their sexual conquest. You have your stud athlete, good-looking young guy talking about the experience that he had with two beautiful twins at the same time last night. You have pornography being watched and read in a Major League clubhouse. You have a lot of swearing, and I don't mean just minor swearing. I'm talking about the serious FCC violation, multiple combination, 13-letter swear words that just blue language, awful language going on in the clubhouse. You have fighting going on in the clubhouse. You have a lot of dirty jokes and discussions about various parts of both the male and female anatomy in the clubhouse. You have yelling at each other, teasing. There's so many pranks played in a Major League clubhouse because it's boring. You have a lot of downtime, so you have a lot of shenanigans going on. Bring a 14-year-old into the mix of that. Although I'm not a parent, I don't know if that's the best idea. And basically what happened was somebody anonymously complained to the White Sox brass and said, hey, I don't feel like I can be myself because this kid's around here all the time and I can't really say what's on my mind. I feel like I have to censor myself. It's detracting from my experience playing for the White Sox. So the White Sox executive team came down hard on Adam LaRoche. I found it very interesting and kind of valiant as a father when he said, well, if my son's not welcome here, I'm just going to quit. Anyone who is batting .207 that walks away from 2 years left on a contract at $12 million shows a lot about themselves and spending time with their son. But I will say, I work in finance. I'm not a professional athlete. I have had experiences with people who I've worked with bringing their kids to work, particularly during the summer. And these kids were always bright kids, smart kids, pleasant to be around, well-mannered. But I will admit that as a finance person in the healthcare industry, there are times where I am tempted, and members of my teams have been tempted to use some off-color language. When I find out that we're $1.5 million south on a project that we need to be on, I may be inclined to say some things that are not necessarily good for the ears of 14-year-olds. And bringing your kid to work every day, and I'm not talking about the single parents. Don't email me and complain. I'm not talking about single parents. I'm not talking about people that have special needs kids. I'm not talking about desperate situations where one of the spouses gets violently ill suddenly and you have to bring it. I'm talking about bringing your kid to work every day. It's never, ever a good idea. It does not end well. There's a reason that adults are in the workplace. It's because they're adults and they can handle adult language and adult situations and adult expectations. For someone to have to temper their thoughts and temper their language and be careful and kind of walk on eggshells because you don't want a 14-year-old kid hearing dirty jokes or hearing about the young lady that you met at the club and all the various things that you and her did in some random hotel room if you're a Major League Baseball player. Having to do that is not going to make your work environment better. And chances are hearing and being exposed to that stuff is probably not going to make Drake LaRoche the most adjusted young man in the world. You're listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network. Speaking of young people, we have my main man, Pastor Jaden Hinds, and his son, Jaden. There will be no off-color language. He will be debuting the Jaden Report as a part of my show on Advent Sports Network after these messages.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
This is Portia Vanderhorst.
Hello, and you are listening to Janelle Phillips. This is Tiffany Glover of Femme Noir.
I am one of the lovely ladies from Femme Noir.
One of the Heavenly Seven from Femme Noir. And you are listening to Advent Sports Network.
Your new favorite show on the Advent Sports Network.
Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Show on Advent Sports Network.
Hello, my name is Jaden Hinds, and I will be bringing you the Jaden Report.
All right, I'm Kimon Hinds. I'm his father, and I'm excited to be a part of the first Jaden Report. So let's just get to know a little bit about Jaden before we get into today's topic. Jaden, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you like.
I am a Lakers fan and a Seahawks fan.
Okay. All right, Jaden, how old are you?
13.
13 years old. So you are on the Adventist Sports Network right now. And let's just get a little bit from you on this topic. Kobe Bryant versus Stephen Curry. In their prime, who's best? Before you give away the answer, let's just get it on the table. Who is your favorite basketball player?
Kobe Bryant.
Why?
He brings the toughness to the game, and he has a lot of confidence. And just the way he plays, his style.
Okay, tell me. Second favorite player?
Steph Curry.
Why?
He's fun to watch. His dribbling or his ball handling is really well. And he's just entertaining.
All right, so we're going to go down the list. You're going to tell me in their prime. Now, when was Kobe Bryant's prime? When do you think that was?
2006 to 2007.
What happened in those years? Did he win a championship those years? I don't think he actually won those years. Those were the years just before they started winning again. All right, when is Steph Curry's prime? Is it now?
I think it's now, but I kind of think that he'll get a little bit better. He's already really good. I just think he's going to get, extremely good.
Okay. All right, so let's compare some stuff between them. Points. Who is the better scorer in their prime? Kobe or Steph Curry?
Kobe Bryant.
Why?
He's averaged 35.4 points in his prime, which is 2006 to 2007 of the season. And Steph Curry, right now, he's averaging 30.5 points.
All right, so Kobe was the better scorer. All right, let's look at something else. Assist. Who was better with assists?
Actually, Steph Curry is better in the prime in assists.
Okay. So if you had to pick someone to take the last shot of the game, in their prime, Kobe or Steph, who would you pick?
To be honest, I would pick Kobe.
Why?
No matter how hard the shot is, he makes it almost every time.
All right. Toughness. Who has the toughness factor? Kobe or Steph? The babyface assassin or the Black Mamba?
The Black Mamba, definitely.
Why?
Against the Warriors, he tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles, and that's really bad. And he made 2 free throws and walked off the court.
Wow.
That takes a lot of
toughness.
Yes.
All right. You said a lot of stuff. Defense. Who was the better defender? Kobe
Well, I think it's Kobe more.
Why?
He averaged more steals and blocks. And Kobe's a taller defender. So, and Steph's both of their both sides of the game, like offense and defense, they're both more to offense.
Okay, so you think they're both more offensive players, they're not defensive specialists as much. All right, drum roll, give us your top pick for who is better in their prime. Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, tell us why. You go.
Okay, here it is. Kobe Bryant.
You think Kobe's better in his prime?
Yes.
All right, here you go. The Jaden Report, signing off, first episode.
You are listening to the Jaden Report, featuring Kimon and Jaden Hinds. Advent Sports Network is a 503c charity. All advertising proceeds from the Lance J Radio Show are used to fund nationwide youth sports programs and the Advent Sports Network Mentorship and Development Institute, which provides opportunities for young aspiring Christian journalists to cover athletic events and produce sports-related programming.